Just enjoying a couple of good deep breaths. Is the body super relaxed, super calm? So while we're here, let's take a moment to connect with our intention. The idea that I was thinking about today is the idea of how in magnetism and in electricity, you have to have both the positive and the negative. So if you were to try to just take away the negative and just have positive with a magnet, you take away the magnetic ability completely. It makes it so it's just a rock. It's completely decharged. So you have to have both. Now, the interesting thing is in life, oftentimes it doesn't feel like there's a lot of balance. For example, if you watch the news, if you talk to people about how the last year has been, oftentimes it's overwhelmingly negative and stressed. And so if we also take on that negative ability, we take on those negative thoughts, that negative energy, it makes it so we're kind of just letting it be a solid rock rather than having that power of electricity or of magnetism. So that charge is super important. So today we're going to kind of take on the opposite charge is that's going on around us by us taking on positivity. So we're going to energize ourselves today. We're going to take on that positive view, positive perspective, constantly thinking of how we're grateful and how good it feels to be here today. And so by us completely charging ourselves with positive, it's like we're creating that balance for the world where there's power, there's magnetism, there's things that are able to be changed and moved. So that's the image that we'll keep in our mind as we travel through today. So with that, to get us going, let's start to take the knees into the chest. We'll be nice and easy on the back, on the hips. Good. And so one way that I think of as that positive energy is by us either reaching upward toward that's away from the ground, or by us kind of expanding the heart space or expanding anything in the direction, the plane that's in front of us. So first and foremost, to try to get kind of that positive energy collected and a back bend, let's begin to plant the feet close to the glutes. We're taking bridge pose. So hands are on the floor by the hips. Let's begin to lift the hips up. We're going to take 5 bridge poses. Exhale back down. Repeating this 4. And down. 3. 2. Last one for the cycle. But then we'll take one bonus one, keeping the hips lifted to that space above us. If you can clasp hands under your back, try to clasp, walk your shoulders under. A little bit of squeezing of the inner thighs together. Not necessarily to touch, but to have that activation. So it's like we're supercharging ourselves. We're lifting this whole area of the body up. Let's stay here another 3 good breaths. One more nice inhale. Exhale, release hands, release shoulders, rolling back down. Now take the bottoms of feet together, let the knees open out like a cobbler's pose. By doing that, it brings this low back and belly area into kind of like a natural passive arch. And so through that arch, just let it stay. Arms are going to stretch to the space above our head. Let's clasp our hands together. At first, we're dragging the fingers down to kind of try to bring the wrist into a 90-degree angle, kind of like the shape of a tower, up, over, and down. So that's kind of trying to stretch one part of the wrist. The whole back is taking a nice arch, lifting up. Good. Flip palms around, and that'll stretch the other part of the wrist. So nice and easy. One more inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Keeping the legs in this placement, bring the right hand to the right thigh. Shift the shoulders to the right and lean that left arm over to the right. Huge stretch, trying to get those ribs, the shoulder, all of that opening up. It's like we're charging up our body by creating more space. Good. Release, switch sides. So now we're leaning to the left. Left hand is down. Right arm is going to the left. And inhale. Exhale, return the spine to the middle of the mat. When we lift our knees up, take our right leg up to sky. It's like that first huge stretch of the day for those muscles on the back side of the leg. So grab on, pull it into a nice, easy stretch. And here, let's start to add some nice gratitudes. We're adding in some thoughts that bring us toward that positive space as the leg is physically coming toward what we've defined as positive, up and in front of us. And so here we're grateful for this leg, grateful for all that it's carried us through in life. Grateful that we have it, we haven't lost it. Just grateful that it functions as well as it does. Good. Let's take our ankle, that right ankle onto the left thigh, setting up a nice hug. Let that hip open. A couple of good breaths starting to flow through our body. Tremendously grateful for this life that we have, for the chance that we have to really go do anything that we want with the time that we have. It's like unlimited possibilities. And no matter how old or how young you are, there's still time to go on new adventures, to go explore new places, to learn new skills. So grateful that we have that. Taking a nice inhale. Exhale, let's drop this right leg down. We're gonna start reaching left leg up to sky. And just let a couple of your natural gratitudes flow through for this side. What is it already that you've experienced today that you are so grateful for? Grateful that your life is the way that it is. Could be different, sure. It will be different in the future. But what do you have to be grateful for right here, right now? And taking this ankle to the thigh, let's set up that hug. Like these first huge stretches for some pretty big muscle groups in our body. Just even feeling grateful for our breath. As we take huge breaths down into the belly, we just feel how effortless it is There's so many people that cannot take easy breaths like that. People maybe on a respirator right now. People that have to walk around with oxygen. So grateful that our lungs are working so efficiently for us. Good. So as we release, we're going to take a couple of little strengthening exercises. Imagine this is like supercharging us up. And so let the right leg come up to the sky. Left leg hovers above the ground. And we'll do some nice straight leg switches. The left leg comes up, right leg down. And then we switch. Just nice and easy, back and forth. You can obviously go faster, but you don't need to necessarily force anything difficult. This is the first little exercise of the day. If you do want to make it more difficult, you can release hands. But again, it's still the beginning. We're still warming up. So no obligation there. Keeping the breath flowing as we do this. Let's take another 3 for each leg. 2, 1. Beautiful, planting both feet. Let's take 10 crunches. The hands pick up the head. When we lift up, it's not so much about getting our head to curl in. It's more about getting as much of the back off the ground as possible. Let's take another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So head relaxes down. We're going to make our way up to a seated place. You could try to grab on the thighs and sit up. You could make it harder, extending the legs out. Either way, let's try to make our way up. And when we're all the way up, let's bring bottoms of feet together like cobbler's pose. And as our chest and our head start to lean forward, imagine it's like we're dipping that part of our body into this realm of positivity in front of us. It's like a positive future that's ahead. We're leaning directly forward into that place. So perhaps as we're here, we just continue to listen to our body, exploring deeper and deeper depths, and just let some thoughts of positivity roll through our system. Thinking of, as we're tilting forward to the future, think of how awesome the future can be. Obviously, it takes work, it takes time, it takes effort. But here we can visualize anything that we want. Anything is possible. Okay, when we lift the spine up, bring the knees up. We're planting our feet in front of us. Plant the hands behind us. And here, 5 times, we're gonna lift our hips up as high as possible, dipping into that space in front of us, and then lower it down. So lifting up, nice and slow, find that rise, and lower it down. Let's repeat that 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Easy cross leg shape. Let's work on our arms just a little bit. Allow both arms to reach up as high to the sky as you can. Maybe even kind of rocking through the shoulder blades, letting one hand reach, other hand reach. Good. Drop the right hand to the floor on the right, lean over to the right. Lifting up, both arms reach up. And lean to the left. Good, reaching up. Imagine you're grabbing onto something. With an exhale, it's a hard pull down, uses a lot of muscular effort. And then inhale, feather-like float right back up. Exhale, drag and pull. Inhale up. Taking another 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Wind to the right elbow under the left elbow and bring your shoulders into a nice stretch, whatever that is. I personally like to lift elbows, but then push the shoulders down. Some people will round the spine back, kind of jutting the elbows forward. So just find a spot that stretches good things in your body. Another inhale. Exhale, release the arms spread open to each side and left elbow under. Once again, find a good stretch, whatever that looks like today. Beautiful, spread it back open. Float the arms up to sky. Take the right hand to the base of the neck. The left hand either grabs the elbow to help it out, or left arm comes from underneath to set up the bind behind your back. Either way, good opening for the shoulders, the arms. And release. Second side, lift the arms up. And then left hand to the base of the neck. Right hand helps or winds around the back. Inhale. Exhale, easy release. Let's allow the legs to expand out wide in front of us. And from here, find the hands on the floor in front. And we're going to just take a slow journey tilting forward. By the way, if you feel your hips leaning you back, maybe just leave hands behind you. And so you're stretching forward as straight of a spine as possible. If hands are in front, it's a slow journey, just a couple of inches at a time. You tilt, the spine is still straight. And then when a couple more inches are available, continue to walk further, even a bit deeper. Slow, easy journey. Because we're trying to keep our spine straight, imagine our spine as a slide. So it's almost like we're creating a funnel or a slide that allows that deepest, best future imaginable to simply and easily just come toward us. It's as easy as sliding down a slide. So maybe there's just a couple more inches available. Spine pretty straight still. And with this last inch, let's just pause. We're here a couple of extra bonus breaths. Good. So easing our way up. Let's take our legs underneath our body. On hands and knees, Give your spine a chance to join the party. It's rounding up. And then the hips and the head come up. Just alternate back and forth. It's like we're trying to touch that full surface area of this posterior section into the sky, into that positivity. Drenching it with that energy. Let's take one more. Beautiful. And so from here, we're taking camel pose. So this is a back bend. So oftentimes people will start off by tucking their toes. That gives us a couple of extra inches. And then when we come up to a high kneeling place, take your hands to the back sides of the hips. The first thing that we're trying to establish here is hips going forward. So I oftentimes see people kind of leaning their hips back to try to reach down. Instead, take the hips forward. From the hips in that placement, the heart starts to tilt back. You don't have to drop your hands down. Sometimes people will try to take the right hand to the right heel. Sometimes people can do both, so if you want to, you're welcome to. Otherwise, take your right hand up. Let's switch left hand down. Huge back bend. Good, left hand up. And here as we try to set our head down onto the ground like a child's pose, let's see if we can clasp our hands behind our back and just pull the arms into that space behind us. If that's not happening easily, you can just take a normal child pose, that's fine. But imagine here we're taking the arms and the shoulders in for that space of positivity, of possibilities, of infinite future. Good. As hands drop down, let the spine rise up. Continue to let the hands try to drop down closer and closer to the ground. Just another easy back. Good. And then releasing, let's take the hands out in front of us. Let's explore downward facing dog. A huge stretch for some of these muscle groups. Float our right leg up to the sky. Feel that stretch, that reach. And right foot steps to the outside of right hand. You've got some choices here for lizard pose. You can stay with this more strong version. Maybe the back leg stays up, whether elbows are up or down. You could lower the back knee to take it into more of a flexibility-based pose. Maybe an elbow on the ground, maybe two. It's all up to you. So your choice between more of a strong lizard or more of a flexible lizard. Good, coming back up onto hands. Lift up this back knee a bit forward. We're gonna step that left foot to the outside of left hand. And then squat the hips down into Balasana. Try to get the elbows to push into the knees. Really good squat position. Feel the hips getting pressed open. Clasping all fingers together except the pointer fingers. The pointer fingers point forward in front of your heart. You would take the whole arm to point forward. And from this shape, we're gonna do one squat. So we're lifting all the way up to stand, and then lower all the way back down. Good, once we're down, play with a nice crow pose for a moment. Hands plant on the floor in front of you. Try to take the knees or the inner thighs up toward the triceps. And then tilting forward just a hair, maybe one set of toes lifts, maybe both, even if it's just briefly. Keep on playing as long as it's sticking for you. Maybe try a time or two. Whenever you're satisfied, you're ready to be out. We'll straighten the legs, drop down into a nice wide forward fold. Good, let's take a half lift, long spine rises. And hands drop down. Here you get to choose child pose, down dog, or a flow. Just imagine whatever you're doing, it's like you're dipping in some parts of the body for that positivity. Good, so from here, left leg will start to float up to sky. And step left foot to outside of left hand. Your choice, are you taking a strong lizard or a flexible lizard? Turning up if you lowered. Step that right foot to outside of right hand. Another Malasana squat. Clasping hands together, release the pointer fingers. Let's point straight out in front of us. And let's take that rising up and down. This time going for 2. So one more, up and down. When we're down, a moment to play with crow. Whatever variation you can take, even just playing with a little bit of weight trying to go forward. Again, take it for a couple of breaths, maybe a couple of tries. And sooner or later, when you're ready, take that nice wide angle forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, drop the hands down, child pose, down dog, or a flow. Lowering down onto knees, we'll take dolphin pose. Elbows drop down. I like to place one hand in a fist, the other hand hugs around. Tucking our toes, lift up the hips. Walk the feet in as much as you have the flexibility for. We're going to maintain this dolphin pose as long as you have a slow, steady breath. The moment you're ready to drop down into child, that's fine. Maybe 2 more reps if you're still up. We'll all take a moment to just rest down into child pose. Coming up to plant the hands, with the toes, lift the hips. Enjoy a couple of breaths here. You choose how long to stay. At some point sooner or later, we're gonna walk our feet up to the top of the mat. So from here at the top, let's take another good inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Good. Hands at the heart. Taking tree pose, shift your weight onto left foot. And then this right thigh rotates open. You can be lower, you could be higher, wherever the steady balance is. And if you're pretty balanced today, perhaps you try to reach both arms up toward that space above us, that space of positivity. Kind of letting some of that trickle down toward our head, toward our thoughts, and down toward our bodies. Good. So now as this right thigh floats in front of us, either grab underneath the thigh to try to let that right leg kick forward, or grab that right big toe and let that leg kick forward. Release, sweep that leg down into warrior three. Easy airplane arms is fine. Then to land of the foot down to warrior one, sweep the arms up to sky. And then clasping the hands behind your back, we'll bring our arms into that shoulder stretch in the space above us as we bow forward. Good. Hands drop down. Release them to the ground and then circle up to sky. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, rotate open, warrior two. Triangle pose, front leg goes straight. Lean toward the left. And then left hand drops down to shin, right hand up to sky. Feel yourself reaching to that space of positivity. And rising up, turn the toes out to 45-degree angles, facing toward that long side of the mat. Reach the arms up to sky. Imagine we're grabbing onto something and pulling it down as the knees go into a squat. Inhale, float up. Let's repeat that 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Turn the toes to the long edge of the mat. Allow yourself to drop forward and join a good breath or two. And then hands over to the right ankle, trying to pull your heart into the right leg. Either stay here or let the left hand wrap around the outer ankle so that right hand can twist up the sky. Good. Walk your hands through the center. Grab on toward this left leg, trying to pull into it. Maybe right hand wraps around that left ankle so that left hand can go up to sky. And release through the center. Take one more inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees. Roll the spine up. Turning the front toes forward. We'll take a half moon pose. So we'll try to cartwheel our hands down. Remember, we don't plant the left hand in front of the front foot. We go to the wider angle that sets up a much more steady base. So getting ready, cartwheel your hand, that left hand to that outside angle. And then everything else is trying to reach up. This back leg goes up as high as possible. That top arm reaches up. Feel the lift up to the sky, up to positivity. Good inhale. And exhale, release down. Let the spine relax. Good, next inhale to roll up or circle up. Hands down to the heart. Second side, we're standing on right foot. Left knee rotates open to tree. If the balance is steady, maybe arms start to grow upward towards sky. Keep the core engaged. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Next inhale. And exhale, same thing, this left thigh floats forward, either grab under the thigh to kick forward, or grab that left big toe and feel the legs stretch. Good. Sweep under and through, warrior three. Soft land to warrior one. Clasp the hands behind the back. And pull the arms to that space right above our back. Good, start to drop the arms down, and then circle up. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten the front leg, triangle, reach the right hand to the right, and then right hand to shin. Left hand is finding that sky above us. Find the positive charge. Good. Rising back up. We're turning our toes to that 45-degree angle. Arms reaching up to sky. Inhale, exhale, grab, pull, and squat as low as you can. Inhale, exhale, taking another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and then leave the legs in the squat. Push the inner thighs open. Lifting up enough that you can turn the toes forward. Start to come into the forward fold, planting the right hand on the floor in front of the face. Left hand, twist up to sky. Try not to twist through the hips. Leave the hips steady and just the upper back. Twist up with that left arm. Good, left hand down, right hand up to sky. And down. Find a couple of extra breaths, releasing downward into any arm position. Bending knees, roll our way up. Once we're up, turn the front toes forward, that right foot. Open up the arms, and we're cartwheeling down into half moon. Right hand going to the outside angle of the right foot. Floating everything else up to sky to reach that zone of positivity. Good, inhale. And exhale, dropping down. Forward fold. Bending the knees. Let's roll our way up. Right behind us, grab the right foot into the right hand. Taking dancer's pose. Try to allow this whole front half of the body to arch forward into positivity. Taking the foot into the hand. Good, rising up. Release that foot, left. Feel the heart arching forward toward positivity. And rise. Plant the feet about as wide as the mat, toes turning out. This time we're taking 3 squats. So set up the arms, pointer fingers point forward. We're squatting down. Here's 3, 2, inhale, exhale, slide down, planting hands. Step walk or jump to plank. You can take child pose, down dog, or a flow. And from here, last hard thing, last energizing thing of the day, we're lowering down to elbows. We're taking our dolphin pose again. If you prefer a headstand instead, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll give you a couple of additional variations if you want to take them for dolphin. So you're welcome to do option 1. Just walk the toes in, lift the hips up. That's fine to stay. Option 2, right leg reaches up to sky. Set it down. Left leg reaches up to sky. Set it down. Option 3 would be with momentum. Lift and pick it up. Lift and pick it up. So it's up to you what version you want to take. Once again, this is our last chance to kind of be active, to kind of be mobile. And so take as long as you have for that breath to still be steadily flowing. It's not caught, we're not panting. Whatever we're doing, maybe 3 more breaths if you're still doing okay. And then start to release into a nice child pose. Up onto hands and knees, lift left hand up to that sky space. And then when we spread that left shoulder through, our goal is to allow this right shoulder, in this case, to be reaching upward. So you could do that either by winding the right shoulder around the low back, or if you're walking that right hand up to the top of the mat, inch it over to that top left to help that shoulder just naturally rotate open. Good, right hand comes to the floor in front of the face, push into it. From there, take a cat and a cow. And right arm up to sky. Thread it through. This left arm helps that left shoulder to be open, whatever variation you're taking. Left hand slides in front of the face, press into it. Take another cat and cow. We're going to pigeon pose. You can take that from kneeling, or I like to go for down dog. I'll float my right leg up to sky, and then right leg swings under and through. Back hip scoots back. We're balanced with our sacrum right there in the middle, not rocking to either side. If you want to just drop straight to sleeping pigeon, that's fine. Enjoy that relief. You're rocking all the way onto the right hip. Swing this left leg around. That could end up in cross leg. It could end up in left leg shin stack, or it could end up in knee stack. So choose the option that lets both sitting bones be down. And then left hand goes up to sky. Touch the base of neck. Either stay here, grabbing that elbow, holding it in, or maybe the right hand tries to set up the bind right behind your back. Either way, let the posture be tall. Let our spine be reaching up toward positivity. And as we release our hands, find the floor. That's like our whole torso is leaning forward toward that positive mindset. Just ease as deep as the hips will allow, creating space, creating possibilities. Starting to ease our way up. We have to take the second side pigeon. So whatever way you want to get there, whether that's kneeling, whether that's down dog, take the shape. I personally am going to lift left leg up and send it through. Relaxing down briefly. We rock on the left hip. This right leg swings around in front. Cross leg, shin stack or knee stack. Right hand reaches up. Touching base of neck, we either help the elbow or we take the bind one last time. Inhale. Exhale, easy release. Find the floor, lean forward. Good. Easing out. This is your journey toward Shavasana. If there's any last stretches you need, take them and explore all the way until you're ready to lie comfortably in Shavasana again. Just take it easy, stretching, breathing. There's no rush to get into Shavasana. Take all the time you need. When you are there, imagine with each inhale that you're slowly breathing into your body. It's like your body's taking on a little bit more of a positive charge. However you imagine that positive charge, just imagine it being present right there all over the body. Here, let's begin to deepen our inhales and exhales. Introduce little movements back to the body. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. Going over to one side. Enjoying 2 or 3 bonus breaths. When you're ready to rise up, hands can come together in front of the heart. Here, we feel supercharged with this positive energy. we feel grateful and we feel confident in a great future ahead of us. We just have this knowing that things are going to work out in the best possible way. And so with this positive energy to help create a balance for any negative in the world right now, we feel ourselves going forward like a light to all. That wonderful balance, that difference, that contrast. And so with this positivity, with this energy, and with the spring season, greater light and warmth every day, all this to help lead us on, let's wrap up the time we got to share together with a sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.